Gospel Diaries, Episode 53. Dianne Williams.
Yeah, just trust in Jesus and take control. God will. Oh, God will take care. I know that He will. Oh, yeah, God will take care. Yeah, I know that He will. Oh, and whenever you read, don't give up. You gotta ask the Lord. I said, Jesus, Lord. And whenever you read, I said, don't give up.
Welcome to Gospel Diaries. Listen, I am overly joyed. Would you look at this queen sitting right next to me? Look at this hat, y'all. And the gloves to match. I mean, you are just a fashion queen, just a lyricist, just everything. We just love you. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. I'm doing well.
Listen, I am, like I said, I am honored. Like, I remember as a child just being so fascinated with you and just wanting to see you and wanting to meet you. And I'm sitting here with you right now. Like, this is almost like a surreal moment.
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to just kind of bathe in this moment and embrace this moment. And I always remember this. So
Thank you.
I had to say that.
Thank you.
So how have your day been? This is Sunday. You
Wonderful.
are recorded,
Sunday
what, 2
is
days?
Yeah, Sunday is always a good day.
Always a good day.
Tired day because we had so much going on within the last couple of months with the recording and everything. So body is a little tired, but I want to do what I need to do, and I love being at my church. So,
Yeah, and that's wonderful. So look, a lot of people know you as the lady that sings, Jesus can work it out, baby need a pair of shoes and all that good stuff. But inquiring minds, they want to know more about the Empress. You know, we want to embrace your history, so I think it's a perfect time to delve into your Gospel Diaries, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's start here about your humble beginnings. Talk about it.
Well, I was born in Alabama, but my mom brought me here as an infant, so I was basically raised in Chicago. I started singing at the age of 5. Didn't know, I just loved to sing. I had no type of formal training or anything like that. I just had, God just blessed me with a voice to sing at 5 years old. And I grew up in Old Original Missionary Baptist Church at the time, which was at 24 North Campbell. I remember all of it because my brain is kind of like a computer, and once I get something in it, it kind of stays. So I was raised over there and used to sing, and I was so little until they would stand me up in a chair so that people could come and see me. They would always ask, we want to hear the little girl sing. We want to hear that little girl sing. And my mom would always have me on little pretty dresses with the puff sleeves and petticoats, and I think that's probably where I got my sense of fashion from a little girl, because I always wanted to look cute. You know what I'm saying? And I remember telling my mom, a lot of times she would put me on a certain dress, and I would say, Mom, you don't like this one. And she said, girl, you know what I mean? But yeah, and from there, we moved to 3007 West Harrison. Pastor Willie Reddick was my pastor, and I got in a group called the Four Voices. It was 4 women, and a woman that played the piano. Her name was Sister Tony. And then I was elevated to directing our junior choir. So I sang and directed the choir, and started visiting Cosmo around 70, I want to say perhaps 75, with my girlfriend. And she introduced me to Dr. Hayes one night in Bible class, and she said, Reverend Hayes, I want you to meet my friend. She could sing. But at that time, Dr. Hayes was kind of like untouchable. You know what I'm saying? He was just, you couldn't get up to him like you and I, like you this close to me. You couldn't get that close to him. So when she went to introduce me and I saw he was walking fast, going back into his office, and I got a little scared. I was like, Ivy, I was pulling her back. I said, I don't want to meet her. And she was like, come on, come on. So I went on and met him. And after that, started coming to a few Bible classes. And then I ended up joining. When I got into the choir, I was singing at my church, at Old Original. I sang in all the keys, A flat, B flat, C, D, F, G. So, and I knew every song that I led and what I sang, I knew the key that I sang in. So I started singing in the soprano section at Old Original. And when I came to Cosmo, I started off singing soprano, but then I eventually went to the alto. But in the midst of that, I was told that I was a mezzo, which meant I could sing alto and soprano. So one day, they kind of got me, they kind of pulled a fast one on me, and they put me on to sing a solo on the broadcast. And Dr. Hayes, the song was Move On Up a Little Higher. And at the time when I learned it at Old Original, as a little girl, Mahalia Jackson was my mentor, still is. I don't know anybody on the planet that sings that can soothe me like her voice still does to this day. Oh, nobody. Nobody. That was my favorite then and my favorite now.
Made it on over.
Come on.
You know my soul. Look back and wonder how I made it over. Well, I got over. Rising and falling all these years. You know my soul. Looks back and wonder how I made it over. Well, soon as my feet strike Zion, I'm gonna lay down my heavy burden. I'm gonna put on my robe in glory. I'm gonna shout and tell my story. How I come over hills and mountains, going up to the mountain. You know all of God's sons and daughters that morning drink that old healing water.
Oh, yes.
Then we're gonna live on forever. We're gonna live on forever. We're gonna live on up in glory.
Oh, yes.
After a while. Well, I'm going out sightseeing in Beulah. I'm gonna march around God's altar. I'm gonna walk and never get tired. I'm gonna fly, Lord, and never falter. I'm gonna move up a little higher. Gonna move up a little higher. No, I move up a little higher.
Oh, yeah.
Over hills and mountains.
Oh, yes.
Going up to the Christian fountain. You know all God's sons and daughters will be drinking that healing water. You know all of God's sons and daughters gonna drink that old healing water. We gonna live on forever. Live on forever. Live on forever. I got a mansion.
Oh, yes.
It's on forever. I'm going to that city on forever. I'm gonna live on forever. No more pain.
No more.
No more sorrow. No more sickness. No more pain. No more pain. No more headaches.
Oh, yes.
No more bills climbing up the hill. No more climbing up the hill. No more down in the valley. Keep on moving.
Oh, yes.
Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. I'm gonna wear a diadem in that new Jerusalem. I'm gonna walk the streets of gold in that homeland of the soul. And I'm gonna move up a little higher. I'm gonna move up a little higher.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna move up a little higher, and it will be always howdy, howdy. Always, howdy, howdy. Will be always howdy, howdy, and never goodbye. Yes, yeah, yes.
And I loved her so much that when she passed away, I cried and cried and cried and cried. And I begged my mom to take me to the funeral. And my mom was like, girl, do you know how many people are going to be at that funeral? And I raised such a ruckus until she actually took me. We went around her coffin. She had on a beautiful blue dress, and they had a glass across her so nobody could touch her. In the midst of all those thousands of people, my mom held me by my hand and let me go to her funeral.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So did you stay for the service?
No,
Okay.
it was so many people, there was
Okay.
no place for us to sit.
Oh, wow.
I sang Move On Up a Little Higher as the solo one Sunday. And Dr. Hayes was in his office. I'll never forget this. Dr. Hayes was in his office. And when I started singing, I saw the door open, and he just stood in the door, like in amazement, because I had not really led a song. They just knew in the background. As a matter of fact, Michelle Brown, they say, is the one who told him, that girl can sing. You know, because I think I stood by her or 2 or 3 seats over from her. So I sang Move Up a Little Higher on the broadcast. And when they gave me all my rules, said you can't sing long. You just got to sing a verse, da 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 da, and come on, and you know, and come away from the mic. I had not recorded, but I had sang some lead with the choir, but I hadn't recorded yet. So I that was my first time doing a solo alone without the choir.
So I must ask you this before we delve a bit more in Cosmopolitan Church. So what was it about Mahalia's voice that resonated with you?
Different, like me.
Oh, okay.
I was different. I still am different. And I don't say that being cocky.
Yeah.
I just have my own method, my own style. I don't want to sing like anybody. I don't want to look like anybody. I don't want to smell like anybody. I don't want to cook like anybody. I just want to be Dianne.
Right.
All by in my own little world, Dianne. In my world, but amongst everybody, the whole world. I can't be in my, world by myself, because we got 10 billion people on the planet.
It's steady growing,
So yeah, but that's because she was different.
Wow.
Yeah, and I watched, even now as an adult, I go to her videos and I still watch them.
Do you ever shed a tear or anything?
No, I smile.
Okay.
Because in my heart, I'm like, wow, she really was the world's greatest singer.
Wow.
She was then, she is now.
It's amazing how you depict why you're fond of Mahalia Jackson, because many people look at you, we know you as an innovator, someone who creates. Like, you're not a copycat, because at the time when you started doing the ad-libs, of course we heard that in the quartet field, but as it relates to a choir and bringing those type of dynamics, if it was going on, it wasn't prominent.
Right.
But you brought it to the forefront, so you was the prototype for other singers to come after, to be able to, to be able to encourage people. You know?
In the little church that I came from, the pastor was a stickler about the Bible.
Yeah.
And we were in service 7 days a week.
Yes.
I was in high school. I had to come home. I couldn't do homework. The pastor picking me up at 7 o'clock to get me to church at 7:30. And me and my mother would just be going back and forth, back and forth. My mom would say, "Oh yeah, you going." Now my mother was Catholic. So go figure. I'm Catholic and she's sending me to the Baptist church. But the pastor would come and pick me up, and we used to have quizzes. He would have books where he would go to the Bible bookstores and buy books that had questions in them, like what prophet's nails grew out like bird claws, what prophet's hair grew out like, like an eagle, and different stuff like that. And my cousins, all of us were around the same age, so we would just be like frantic to see who was going to answer those questions, who had 144 wives and concubines and all this kind of, this is what I was raised on. So because I was so into the Bible, because of the upbringing that I had, when I came to Cosmo, I already knew the Bible. And it was never like practiced. It's just that, like I told you when I talked to you before, my brain is like a computer. And when I read something in the Bible and a song comes along, I can just, my brain will just, I mean, when we did the remix, even when we did the first Jesus Can Work It Out, how you gonna pay your rent and all your money is spent. I was going through that with my only child, Monique. Baby need a pair of shoes.
Okay.
And I was going through that. And I would sit down, and I had a problem just spending money like crazy. It wasn't that I didn't have it. I spent it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, my rent is due, and my this is due. And when Work It Out came, it was just, how I'm going to pay my rent? All my money is spent. I got a little bit to buy some food. Baby need a pair of shoes. Light bill due. Oh God, gas bill too. Telephone disconnect. At the time, we had the ones that go in the wall. Don't get paid for 2 more weeks. Waiting on my next paycheck. Tell you what you ought to do. Jesus will see you through. And that's just how that resonated. And it came about. Didn't rehearsal with the choir. Nobody knew I was going to, not even Dr. Hayes knew I was going to do it. And after the session, he was like, come here. Because he was upset. He was upset because he didn't know. And he was like, girl, if you done messed up this. And I was standing there trailing in my shoes, but it turned out to be, what it is today.
Wow.
And then I used to do a song called, oh wow, it's so many. But they weren't recorded, they were just choir songs. We did a lot of Albertina Walker stuff. We did a lot. I sang a lot of her. The choir did, and we did a lot of pastor led. Now let us all go back. We did that was the Davis sisters, I think, that recorded that, and we were doing that. And I can't remember every song that I did. I do remember this one, come and go with me to my father's house, to my father's house. That was one that we did that when I first came to the choir. And, oh wow, it's so many of them.
Wow.
It really is.
Well, allow me to put a footnote right here. You are beautiful.
Oh my God, thank you.
My God, from Zion.
Thank you.
Y'all, you can see her.
Thank
This is
you.
like, not only can you minister, you can bless the natural eye.
And that was amazing because we sang to people that were on the beach in bikinis, and then we sang to the gospel across the seas that I stipulate in the song. We went across the seas, Pastor the choir. I mean, we sang to people who were yearning for what we did. You know what I'm saying? And Pastor would just tell us, look, when you get over there, when you get down there, you give God all you got. To act just like you were at Cosmopolitan, and don't put on any airs. Just do, what you do, and that's all I know how to do. I've never been threatened by singers. I've never been the kind of singer that feels like every time I get to the mic that the house is going to crash. I don't come with that.
Right.
And I've learned that over the years, the only way to survive in this gospel music industry is humbleness. You can never get so pious or so great that when you walk in a room, you got 10 people beside you and somebody just wants to shake your hand or hug you, and you don't have time to do it. Who are you? Who do you think you
Watch
are?
out, now. Watch out.
I never do that. I don't care from the smallest to the oldest.
Yes.
If they can get to me or I see them coming,
Yeah.
I don't tell nobody, oh, I don't want. Please. So, and these people now, they don't realize that everything that comes through your hands or comes your way is a blessing from God.
Yeah.
And it took me to be sick in a nursing home for 2 years, unable to do anything for myself, period. Waiting on people to bring my food, waiting on people to give my medicine, waiting on people to.
Wow. But you're still here.
I'm still here and I'm running for my
Running
life.
to minister to people, because even if you don't say a word, your movement is encouraging. You know,
Thank you.
the way you wear your clothes is encouraging, because you're teaching people elegance. You're teaching people etiquette.
Whenever we were going to record the word would get out and they announce it or whatever, and then writers would come, and of course the writers are going to they can pick whoever they want to sing their songs. You know what I'm saying? I can't sing everybody's song.
Right.
And that's not the attitude that I want to have. Pastor Hayes used to want to be fair with all the lead singers, just as Dr. Smith does. He wants to be fair with the lead singers. But Dr. Hayes would always ask me, now, Precious, do you feel comfortable with that? Because just not cause they wrote it, baby, don't mean you got to, you know what I mean? Is if you're not comfortable with it, just let us know and somebody else could try it or whatever. But I always just try to do what I could. If they gave me something, I just wanted to do it. I never took failure. I can't do that. And I've done, now I did used to sing On Cloudy Day, which is a slow song.
Sermons?
Yes.
Okay.
And most people didn't know that I could sing a slow song. But because I was always given a driving song, that's what I became known for.
Wow.
So yeah, but that's how we the musicians and myself kind of connected, because I had a thing that I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow the verse, the chorus, and do everything that I'm supposed to do normally. I'm going to do that. But once I get into that out of body, that's what I call it, an out of body experience. When I start ad lib, then it's I don't know. I don't know until after I've done whatever I've done, like they be like, girl, did you know you was swinging off the people's chandelier? Or what, something like that. I don't know that until after the fact. You know what I'm saying? I do remember the choir went to a Mother's Day brunch. And I will never forget this as long as I live. We were in a hotel. I don't know how I got up there. I got on the table. I didn't step in nobody's food. I didn't waste nobody's drink. My pastor was just standing on the sidelines like this, like, somebody get her, get her. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I can't do that now, but I don't have any regrets. Sometimes I feel bad that I can't put all that I used to could put in it before I had all these surgeries on my back and stuff. I get sometimes a little dismayed about that, but because I still have a voice. I can lay down and sing. I can sit down and sing. I mean, I can't stand up a long time, but I still can sing.
Right.
So that's what I thank God for still bestowing that blessing on me every day that I wake up. And singing, I'd rather do more than anything on this planet. Even when I was married, my husband would make me up in the middle of the night to sing something.
Really?
Yeah, and it would be a church song. Baby, do you know such and such and such a thing? And what? It's 3 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
3 o'clock in the morning.
You know, but I sing like a little lullaby,
Yeah,
sing a tune, sing a line or two of it, turn back over and go to sleep. But Cosmo has been my rock.
Yes.
I have had my moments where I got teed off and left, but nobody could give me what Cosmo gave me. Even if I go to a visit, if I go on an engagement and a choir sings background to me or whatever, it's not that that I get from Cosmo.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's like we're just a family, and the Warriors, we could just beat and pull each other's hair out and knock each other's teeth out. But when it's time for us to get on that stage, it ain't no joke. Cause Drum Hayes wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Relationship with Dr. Father Charles G. Hayes. It seems like he was the only one that actually can just get you. You know, when you be out there, you be singing, he'd be all up behind you. How did that start?
I don't know.
Because every video you watch, it's like you get to run it or you get on the pews. He would make sure that you were safe.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was basically what mostly covering, and then he'd be in my ear, hollering, kill him, kill him. He just always wanted to just be sure nobody, hurt me or threw their pocketbook in their face like I have gotten.
Really?
Oh God, yeah, I've gotten hit in the face, in the chest, and everything.
Because it was under the Spirit in the day.
Yeah,
okay.
not in a bad way,
Right.
but and he would tell the tenors, y'all stand, make when y'all don't let them folks get up on, like not to hurt me.
It's dangerous because I'm telling you, like, when you're in your element, like you really be touching so many people, and sometimes some people, they can't control their emotions, and they want to get to you, they want to grab you, they want to do this. You know, Philadelphia, I was interviewing Reverend Joe Williams from the Dixie Hummingbirds and the Sons of the Birds. He said one time, I think he said he was either at the Met. I believe he said it was at the Met. He said that Ira Tucker was singing so hard. He said this man came up on stage and said, Ira, bro, he said, stop. He said, don't sing no more. We can't take this no more.
So we were singing without him. But when he came back, he met us. We were singing at a church. It was so much spirit in there, so powerful. A guy got out the audience, came to him and grabbed him and said, okay, Chuck, don't sing no more. Please, don't sing no more. I can't take it. Don't sing no more. Grabbed him just like, please don't sing no more. Come out the audience. We were singing, and the guy come out the audience. Said, that's it. Don't sing no more. Yeah.
Don't make no more.
Wow.
And that's how we feel with you. I mean, you really take us there.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Of Marva Hines, when she heard Make Me Back, she's like, that woman is amazing.
Wow.
Seriously, she loves your rendition of Make Me Back. Oh, no, we have to talk about hearing your song on the commercial. She's going to work it out with the Chromebook.
I was at home watching Empire. When the commercial came on, I was watching Empire.
Oh, you saw it yourself?
But, of course, they contacted me, and, my pastor, they contacted Dr. Smith to find out how to reach me to get it to go on. But when I first saw it or heard it, it was on, I was watching Empire. When they went to a commercial break, that's when I heard it.
I know you probably was like, oh my Lord. You to Brother Taylor, who did a wonderful job on the organ, accompanying the Empress. So thank you so much over there. So you all make sure y'all put thank you in the comment.
No means, we cannot leave him. And as I tell people all the time, even still, Dr. Smith pushes me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if I'm sick, if I'm getting ready to pass out. He pushes me. And he really inspires me to do what I do because Dr. Hayes has gone on. And the things that he instilled in me, I still have. But as the recording was named the Joshua Experience, we have a new pastor now. And I have to still respect and give him the same thing that I
Oh,
gave Dr.
absolutely.
Hayes. You know, I dare not do it any differently. So we got to make
Oh,
sure that he
yeah.
gets recognized for doing this.
Oh, absolutely.
And yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
let's talk about let's actually spit a bit on his leadership.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
His pastoralship.
9 years
yeah,
this month, and Dr. Hayes made him his successor before he left here. So by him being raised up as a teenager and in the choir, if you look at any of the old videos, you'll see him in the background with his braids. And also Dr. Hayes' grandson is, I mean, that's my heart.
Yes.
I tell him, I try to mentor him on how to sing and what to do and stuff like that. And he and Pastor Durrell has taken this church to another level. And now 9 years later, what people said 9 years prior that we wouldn't last, not 9 days. So now we're into 9 years and going stronger than ever. You know, we have the Warriors are always going to be who they are because they've stamped their name. It's in stone.
Yes.
You know, like on the Ten Commandments when the man says, "So let it be written,"
Yes.
and "So let it be done." That's how it is with Cosmopolitan. So everybody who had things to say negative or to bring us down or whatever, it did not work. So I'm still here even when I get into my moments, and it ain't because I feel like I'm better or I'm great and I'm this. Sometimes I just get, you know, and it's because I can't do and give like I really want to, and it depresses me sometimes, but because I can pick up my phone and call my pastor, and he would say, "Look, Empress," because that's the name he gave me. He's like, "Okay, Empress, this is what you're gonna do, such and such, such a thing, da 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 da," and it makes it much easier for me, and I don't want to let him down. I don't want to let my church down. Dr. Hayes is gone. He taught me a whole lot. And I would be less than a woman
Yes.
not to do or try to fulfill the dream that he died off and left. He said when we were over at 842, he said, "When I leave here and close my eyes, don't y'all let my church die." He said, "You got to go outside of these walls." You know, so we're in a new location. And we love each other. Like I said, we fall out. Ain't no marriage is even perfect.
Right.
A husband and wife falls out. He might not like what she cooked that day. And he go to bed mad, and she have to cook what he wanted the next day. Okay, now you went to bed mad last night, but I'm finna fix your. So I would just be less than a woman not to stay here and do and put all I can while I can into this church, because that man gave his life for this church. And Dr. Smith is the same way.
Yes.
I mean, he don't like to take breaks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we are wishing we don't have rehearsal next week because we worked so hard for the recording. But yeah, so I love my church and I love my pastor.